Josh, you shoot FITASC for this country.
Yeah, been fortunate enough to a few times, Johnny.
Which means you're pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. It's probably one of my favourite disciplines to shoot in terms of sporting disciplines. It's the whole variety of the targets and everything. It's good fun.
Today I'd love it if you could take me through the differences between FITASC and sporting, and maybe just talk about the method differences, if there are any, or the timing differences.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously with, when we talk about sporting, obviously we're going to talk about English sporting. So obviously we've got variations, English sporting, FITASC sporting and compact sporting. So with English sporting, obviously you might have a 100 bird course made up of 12 stations with 2 different targets on each station. And you'll have a combination of on-report pairs and true pairs. With FITASC sporting, there's 2 different formats. You've got your old system and your new system. Old system tends to be 25 bird parcours with 3 different pegs or 3 different hoops on each layout. And so for example, here we've got set up, we've got 5 different targets, we have 3 different shooting positions. Okay, so you shoot 3 different positions, same set of targets. So as you move through the positions, you'll see the angle, the distance of the target changes as you move your shooting positions. And that's what makes it, gives you more variety and more of a challenge, right? With English sporting, there is no rules in terms of your gun mount and your gun positioning before you call pull. So we can have the gun pre-mounted, soft mount, whatever.
We see the majority of people shooting with a very high gun nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it is very much a personal preference. You know, for me personally, I'd always have a sort of pre-mounted gun for a lot of trap type targets and, you know, fast going away stuff where I've got limited time to shoot them. With most targets where I've got a lot more time, I'd like to get the gun more of a soft mount just out the shoulder, so I've got more visual.
Yeah, use a bit less energy as well.
Exactly that, and you know, for timing I find it helps me better. And obviously it all depends on the presentation of the target and where you're going to shoot it. With FITASC sporting, we've got a line on our vest. So a line 25 centimeters from the top of our shoulder down, and the whole of the stock has to start below that line before you call pull. So like you're shooting a gun with an adjustable stock here, obviously the adjustable stock is slightly higher than the back of the gun.
That is the limit. Exactly.
The whole of that has to be A, touching your body, and be below that line to start off with. Exactly that. So we've got to be in that position to call pull. We're not allowed to pre-mount the gun. We're not allowed to have the gun in our shoulder before we call pull. There are warnings for that. And then once we see the target, visually we can then mount the gun. When it comes to, with FITASC, we shoot a combination of singles and then maybe on-report targets, true pairs, Raphael pairs. Within the on-reports and the Raphaels and the true pairs, we are allowed to mount the gun between the 2 shots. So it's not as if we start the gun down as normal, okay? We call pull. Once we've shot the first bird, we can leave the gun pre-mounted or just out the shoulder.
Whatever makes you happy.
Bird. Exactly that. What makes it a challenge for a lot of people is the variation of targets, right? You know, we've got a lot more different targets. So if we shoot, for example, a new system, 100 bird course, which we've made up of, say, 4 parcours with 3 different shooting positions on each parcours, that's 60 different targets. So to make a 100 bird course, you're shooting 60 different targets. It's a lot of different
multiple
targets.
Combinations of that.
Correct.
So you're looking at over 100 different presentations potentially to shoot.
And it can be, and that's what makes it a challenge, you know, both physically and mentally, because you're remembering lots of sight pictures and lots of hold points, etc. So we're going to run through this just so we can see the difference now. Obviously yourself, you shoot from quite a high gun most of the time in a pre-mounted position. So we're going to drop the gun out your shoulder to the FITASC line and just see the difference it makes in terms of our timing and our setup with different targets. Obviously for the majority of targets, actually you'll find you've got the same sort of time as you normally would. Where as course designers will try and catch people out is, you know, your sort of trap type targets, your quartering type birds.
Where you would usually rather shoot pre-mounted.
Yeah, and just makes you sort of think a little bit more. Once the gun's actually hit the shoulder and you're mounted, you're not at the kill point you want to be at, you're maybe past that, right? So you have to think a little bit more, pushing out your comfort zone a bit more basically, as to where you're actually going to kill the target, and a bit more of a thought process in your planning of where your hold point is and visually where you're looking to see that target come out.
Whilst adding in the whole new process of mounting the gun before you do anything.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's trying to still keep it, you know, for me, by technique, we'll try and still stay the same for the majority of stuff. What I've got to be a lot more aware about now, and this is the beauty of having the ShotKam on the gun today, is you'll see, obviously the pitch of the barrels is quite important here, because we're starting the stock so low, particularly as we come to those lower type targets. If the muzzles stay high, as we mount the gun, everything's coming up, right?
Or worse, dips down.
Seesaw, exactly.
It's going to throw you out of line.
And that's the beauty with the ShotKam, we'll be able to see that. You know, so if we see the muzzles are too high, you'll see once the gun hits the shoulder, exactly where the barrels are in relation to the target. So it's quite important to think about that when we're setting up, we're shooting FITASC, when we get our setup and we're in the hoop, as to where our muzzles are pointing, so we're nice and low on the line of the bird, so as we mount the gun, everything comes up as one.
All right, let's go.
We'll run through some targets and see how we get on. So Johnny, we're on an old system layout here, so we're in our hoop. We've got 5 different targets going clockwise A through to E. Okay, so A target will be a left to right standard off the bank here. So we're going to run through the 5 singles as we would. We'll shoot them in order as they go around.
And we're allowed full use with FITASC
full use of the gun,
singles.
exactly that, full use of the gun. And that's, you know, in our head we think, great, I've got 2 shots. It's also something you've got to be careful about, that you don't just think, oh, I've got 2 shots and be a bit blasé with it. The first shot is still the best shot. The second shot there is a backup if we make the first shot wrong. Yeah.
We'll get into it at some point once I've missed with my first barrel, the technique for a second barrel and
Correct.
what that looks like.
Not that I'm expecting you to miss, of course.
Well,
Obviously, with our singles, when we're viewing them, the first, you know, you're the squad, you're the first person in the squad, you are allowed to see the singles twice.
okay.
The first person in the squad, as the squad goes through, they'll just move on. And then when we come to the pairs, again, if there's a true pair or a Raphael pair, whoever's in the hoop first is allowed to see that pair twice.
Well,
Seabird, Johnny's your sort of trap style teal tile target out in front. D-Bird's your right to left rabbit. E-Bird, Johnny, right to left batu from behind the mountain.
well,
Those are your 5 singles, Johnny. Let's run through them in order. We'll shoot them in order, A through to E, and then we can assess where you're at from there.
all right.
All right.
Well,
So the big thing here with your FITASC is think about feet positioning. So we might have 5 different targets, all different directions. So feet and keeping our shoulders nice and square to our kill point is really key here. Okay, so that's part of our process when we're viewing the targets. Let's use the hoop as much as possible and get ourselves set up so we're comfortable where we want to kill the bird.
okay. Sounds good. Well,
So B-Bird's your left to right crosser, standard out the back there, Johnny. So here, feet position is quite key, quite a big target. So nice and square to your kill point, so your shoulders are square
about
there.
there, yeah.
Again, I wouldn't be in a rush to come back too far here. My kill point's probably somewhere sort of out in front of us to our right here. If my gun comes too far back, I want to insert the gun on the bird too early. And what we'll see there, although visually it may not think it's happening, but actually, as we see the bird come, we're mounting the gun. By the time the gun hits your shoulder, you actually can end up out in front, and then we don't have that connection. So let's just make sure we're taking the gun to the back of the bird.
we're doubling down on timing over English sporting.
Correct.
Okay. Well, teal.
Yep. So feet square out in front of you.
Tempted to kill it sooner rather than later?
If that's where you feel it's easiest to shoot, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
You've got to be comfortable at your kill point, yeah?
So mount speed can vary, right?
Yeah, obviously, ultimately, we want to make sure that that gun is being inserted below the target so we can come up to the line of it.
Okay.
D-Bird's your rabbit here, Johnny. So right to left, quite a tight angle in towards us. So I'd be wanting to open my shoulders up square there.
We're killing it about there, right?
100%,
We can wind back to get the pickup.
Exactly that, and then come back again. Same thing. Try not to move that gun until we've seen the bird almost come past the gun. Then we can insert behind.
So the swing through happens as part of the mount?
Yeah, but I still want to make sure that when your head hits the stock and the gun hits your shoulder, you're behind the bird.
Okay.
And then you go. Yeah. What we don't want to happen is our head hits the stock and we think we're behind, but actually the gun, by the time the mount happens, the gun hits your shoulder, you're out in front.
Okay. Sounds good. It's interesting, the timing on that is very different to how I would shoot it otherwise, and I guess that's an interesting thing with FITASC, right?
Yeah, 100%, because you've got that mount is creating gun speed and creating lead for you as well, so you've got to be careful how you use that, right? So straight away there, when we miss the rabbit, miles in front first shot, because that move, we're almost think we're bringing the gun in behind, but actually when the gun hits your shoulder, you're almost on the front edge of it already, and then you go to a space.
So maybe with this rabbit, think mount, then move.
Yeah, mount behind, and then just draw the gun to the bird and pull the trigger.
As I would if I was shooting it pre-mounted, right? You've
Exactly
got plenty
that.
of time to mount, insert.
100%. Look at all the space you've got from where you first hit to where you
that's-
want to shoot it, right?
I guess that's the thing with FITASC though, because that seabird was mount kill.
Yeah,
Before it's a long way
different
away,
move,
so
exactly.
you just have to regulate your tempo.
Yeah, exactly that.
Well,
Hard work to do it because you've got to be patient. Because the gun's out of our shoulder, we almost think as soon as
Rush,
we see the bird,
rush,
I've got to
rush.
mount. You've got, again, it's all part of that planning. You know, wait here, see the bird come, then mount and go.
yeah.
That's the difficult thing with FITASC. Have a look at the batu now. It's quite a good batu out here. Again, going right to left. So let's bring the left foot round slightly to open the shoulders up to our kill point. Nice. So then we're just going to look at a couple of pairs. Obviously, we haven't got a menu in front of us, so I'm going to make up a couple of pairs for you. Likewise with our English sporting, we've got to be mindful in our pairs. We may have 5 single targets. We're only going to maximum shoot 2 pairs on each hoop on a parkour. So sometimes even only 1 pair, right? So if we've only got 2 pairs, we've got 5 singles. There's one of the targets we may not shoot in the pair on that hoop. So we've got to look into that and sort of think, what am I going to kill in the pairs, which way round are they, etc. So here we might go from something quite quick to something quite slow and so on. So we might have to transition the feet quite quickly between the 2 shots. So it's a plan we've got to have when we're looking at the pairs before we go in, of exactly where you're turning to and where your hold point is for the second target, just like we would in English sporting.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Pair we're going to do, we will shoot the right to left bunny rabbit first.
Yep.
And then we're going to shoot the sort of going away bird out in front of you from there. Left foot round ever so slightly for the rabbit, but keep my shoulders still fairly square to my teal. So as soon as I shot the rabbit, I can come up and then go straight into that teal.
Sort of halfway between the perfect comfort zone.
Exactly that, yeah. The good thing there we can see is that, and we'll see this back through the camera as well, that you haven't brought the gun too high for your going away bird. You've left the gun low, so you make sure the clay's got to beat the gun, then drive up through it.
You probably saw that I almost did. I was like, stop, stop.
And that's what the course designer is going to try and do and catch you out, is try and push you into making those errors. Yeah, it's not necessarily technically a very tricky target. It's the combination of the transition from that rabbit to that teal that's likely to catch you out. Yeah. Let's have a look at a Raphael pair. So Raphael, for those of you that are watching this and don't understand, never heard the term Raphael. Raphael basically means it's the same target. It's not quite on report, so they're going to come one after each other like a following pair.
The button is held down.
Exactly that. So if you were first in this hoop, you're up first on the pairs, you'd be entitled to see the pair if it was a true pair or Raphael pair. So we're going to shoot a Raphael pair of the Batu. So you call pull from Jonny and I'll show you exactly what they look like.
A little bit quicker than report.
Yeah, but we still got plenty of time to shoot it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just knowing again that timing is exactly where the clay is going to be the second target once you shot the first one, so you know where to bring your gun back to repeat the shot.
So it's just speedier transition.
Correct.
In a Raphael pair, would you consider getting the target broken a little bit quicker than your perfect comfort zone so that it gives you enough time for the second?
You could do, yeah, arguably. At the end of the day, it all depends on the presentation of target and how much time you've got from where you kill it, ideally, to where the second one's going to be. So if you don't want to give yourself too little time, you don't want to make sure the first one, all of a sudden you come back here and the clay's already passed.
Yeah, let's say you shot that on the drop, you'd have to pretty much spot shoot the second because it would be dropping in after.
Yes, unless you felt comfortable shooting it that late and then just literally holding up, letting the clay come through the gun and then making the same shot again.
It feels uncomfortable.
Exactly, it's what you as an individual feel comfortable doing in the move you want to make. So just shot the first hoop there, Jonny, killed all the singles, killed all the doubles, lovely.
Felt good, right? There's an interesting thing there that with a single target, you hyper focus on the one and you get to move on.
Yeah.
English sporting, the discipline of repeating yourself is a hard thing in itself. There's a pleasure in that you missed one, you never have to shoot it again. Potentially
not, yeah, exactly. And I would say with our FITASC layouts, if we shoot a 100 bird course, most of the time there are over 4 parcours, 3 or 4 hoops per parcours. So once we've shot a hoop, that's it, it's done, let's move on to the next one. Try and break the layouts down into however many hoops there are after 3 or 4 hoop layouts into those individual hoops and sort of focus on, clearing the hoop or clearing the peg as opposed to trying to clear the whole parcours. It's an easier way to deal with targets because there's that many targets to shoot on a layout. So we shot those. Is there anything you feel, Jonny, that didn't feel quite as nice as you thought, or you feel you could make better through that or not?
I mean, I should probably ask you before I put my foot in it. What do you think could be made better?
I was going to say all of it, but no, you're not that bad.
Thanks,
Jonny.
friend.
What we're going to look at is the teal type target. So the beauty of having the ShotKam on this is you wouldn't necessarily see this as an individual. When we look back through the camera in a second, I'll show you the footage, you'll see what I mean. So if I just take the gun from you there and just step back, have a look from behind the gun at where your muzzles are pointing. Where are they?
Quite high.
If I now throw that teal type target, have a look. Right, we're almost going to be higher than the teal if we're not careful. Bearing in mind when we mount, we're going to be going even further up. So when we come to teal type targets, anything lower type especially, we want to make sure the muzzles are way below the line of the bird where we want to kill it, right? Because this is all going to come up as one.
So you're going bang.
Correct. So we want to make sure we still insert the barrels underneath the target to then come through it. So setting up that again, so if you just go into that same sort of setup position there for me. So instead of having the muzzles high, we're going to come a fraction lower here, almost look through the gun. This will feel really uncomfortable that it's low. Yes, if you were shooting normal sporting, it probably would, but we've got to remember all this is coming up with the mount, okay? So if we're lower here, then we can see the bird come through the gun, mount into the bottom, and then just drive up to it. Okay, so let's put some shells in and shoot that again. A lot more of a connection, a lot more controlled.
Yeah. Really had to regain barrel control.
Yeah, exactly, and just make sure that you see that clay come through the gun, then just drive into it. At the end of the day, it's a relatively straightforward target. What makes it complicated is the mount and the human. So we just make sure, bring the muzzles low, especially on anything going away, any teal type targets, bring the muzzles lower than the line of the bird that you want to kill it on. So as you see the bird develop through the barrels, as you call, Paul, you can mount into the bottom of the bird and then drive up through the line of it.
And although I broke it my way, that's because this is a potentially easier target.
Yeah, there is.
That method won't work when we get into bigger teal.
Correct, and there can be that error where as we go further away, obviously the angle's a lot shallower, so as we mount, that's exaggerated even more, right? So the muzzles are high here, and as we mount, we go even higher. So when the gun hits your shoulder, you think you're trying to mount underneath and come through, but actually the gun hits your shoulder, you're already above the target. So what happens is either you stay above there and just pull the trigger, we might get lucky, or you go up there and then drop the gun back down to find the bird and drive up through it.
Overcomplicating something that is already complicated.
It just becomes so risky. There's no margin for error. It just becomes complete guesswork. That's the problem.
Thank you, man.
Pleasure.